I'm Bunny. My laugh sounds like this.
Welcome to Fine Tooth Combs, a podcast about the movies of Jeffrey Combs. Or something. My name is Janine, my voice sounds like this.
My name is Matt, my voice sounds like this.
My name is Janine, my voice sounds like this.
I've already introduced myself.
And you have, she's fun. And tonight we watched the film 1987's Cyclone.
Not about tornadoes.
No,
Nope.
not about tornadoes.
I thought it was,
Misleading.
I totally thought it was going to be like one of those like 90s, early 90s genres like with Helen Hunt.
Yeah,
where they,
Twister.
Yeah, like Twister. And what was its knockoff? Tornado, probably.
Yeah.
Was there a knockoff of Cyclone?
Oh,
I know they had ones of the volcano ones, like there was
Dante's
No.
Peak.
and
Yeah,
what's
no,
the
there
other
was
one?
totally a knockoff.
And there's an
Oh.
Armageddon and Deep Impact, right?
Deep Impact was
Yes.
the better movie.
Hold on, that's all. What was, so there was
Volcano.
Dante's Peak, was it just Volcano?
Volcano, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dante's Peak was
Did
the
it-
better
did-
video.
Pierce Brosnan.
Was Pierce
Pierce
Brosnan and was
Brosnan.
Bill Paxton in Volcano?
If it's the
been a long
knockoff, then
time.
yes.
There's no way
Yeah.
of knowing. Yeah, so we watched Cyclone, which is described as an action sci-fi drama.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Light on the sci-fi.
Yeah, but it's about...
Heavy on the drama.
Heavy-
So much sad.
They did say some science words in there.
Yeah, it has our man Jeffrey. He makes a futuristic bike that he's making it for the government, and other people want to steal it from him.
So they can sell it to the
Used for
Japanese.
nefarious reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we move on to the comb over, do we have anything from the previous episode? It's been a while. We all have lives. We try to do this every 2 weeks, and still that's pretty hard because we have children and what have you.
And families.
Two of the regular group aren't here, but
We don't really like them anyways, and they probably won't even hear us do this, so we can talk as much shit about them as we want to. Jake's hair, what is up with that?
I love it. Yeah.
When are we going to talk to him about it?
But we watched From Beyond last time. Everybody was here. That was pretty fun. Do you remember that movie? And coming from the dimension, all the purple colors. That
Yeah, the
started
purple
tuning forward.
gels. The purple gels.
That
Yes,
was amazing.
yeah.
I think I didn't remember the name, but I
Humans are
loved the
such easy
movie.
prey. Yeah, I
My
think
favorite
we-
one so far, actually. So.
Yeah,
Yes,
I agree.
yeah.
I did like it more than Reanimator. It seems to have aged better. Another
Yeah.
Stuart Gordon movie. This is not Stuart Gordon. The director of this movie's name is Fred Olen Ray, which he's done a bunch of B movies. Super Shark sounds amazing. We should probably watch that.
Probably.
Twilight Vamps, Bikini Frankenstein.
Twilight Vamps?
Yeah.
Bikini Frankenstein.
Dire Wolf. I'm trying Bikini A Go-Go. Sensing a theme here. This is his later works. Oh, he did Emmanuel. You remember those?
Yes.
They were like, but they were Emmanuel 2000. Like they were erotic tales of
Yes.
a French girl or something. Yeah.
Isn't like Shannon, what's her name? Shannon Tweed is in one of them or
I
something?
think you're right.
I hear think.
Yeah, I remember. I remember the box art of one of those.
But basically, this guy, Dinosaur Island, Evil Tunes, Droid Gunner, holy shit, Alienator, which I've never seen, but I totally know what the box looks like. It's like a Lita Ford-looking chick with metal on her and stuff. I don't know what it's about, but I saw the cover a million times while looking for movies. This guy is a B movie sort of auteur, and he seems that he did a really good job with this one too. It's just in general, but our main character and the main lead is Heather Thomas. That's right.
Known as Carrie in the film.
Yes, that's right. Heather Thomas, I don't know if anyone remembers, but she was in The Fall Guy with Lee
Oh, yeah.
Majors, which was about a stuntman who was also a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I know that, I never saw the show, I just know what it was about from what the Mad Magazine parody of The Fall Guy, which I think it was called The Brawl Guy. Or probably The Fall Black or something like that. But I don't know anything about that other than like she was in that and that Lee Majors was from Mad Magazine. Oh, side note. I read a lot of Mad Magazine when I was a kid, and it made me who I am, however fucked up that is. Is Mad Magazine still going on? Is it
I
still
believe so,
relevant
yeah.
where kids can go to it and get that crazy
Oh,
fucked
I don't
up
know if it's relevant. Like, if that's what the kids are doing,
Right.
it's not Mad Magazine. It's probably, like, their parents that are still reading it.
Yeah, I don't think that the kids today read it.
Well, I mean, it was sort of hit its creative peak in the 60s.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then sort of like just subsisted upon the
Oh,
goodwill
But
that
it did have
made.
the brief resurgence with being tied into the TV program,
Yeah, in the 90s.
which had a surprisingly long run.
Yep.
I used to love that show.
Yeah.
I suppose relevant is the wrong word. Do you think it's still important for the nerdy kids to
I bet,
read?
you know, that's actually a really good point. I bet that the nerdy kids that like hang around 7-Elevens, you know, when they're just checking out the magazine rack, they're going to check out, they made fun of a thing that is popular.
Yeah, apparently they're in color now, and they
Oh,
have
that
ads.
I read
Yeah.
them. When I read them, they were in color.
Really?
Yeah.
See, it was all black and white and old school. So because I was thinking, well, maybe they're not like kids won't get the jokes.
And they had
But
these
I
great
read-
fold-outs and stuff.
Exactly,
And they had
Al Jaffe,
comics
yeah.
and yeah.
But I read the old Mads, and I had no idea what the hell they were talking about. Like, Eisenhower, who's that? I'm like 10. Yeah. So I suppose even if the kids don't get the references, they're probably still good. I just love the art and all the crazy shit.
Well, I know I went after them because I liked comic books, and I didn't have easy access to comic books. So I would gravitate towards the Mad because it was something different, even if I didn't get the joke, which I often did because it was on like relevant pop culture, right? So
And a lot of stuff's timeless, like
fart jokes
Jaffe.
are always funny.
Yeah, what's that guy Berg who did the lighter side? You know, like just
Yeah.
corny jokes, spy versus spy,
Yeah,
shit like that.
and the gross stuff. Like I remember, like one of the covers was somebody looking into a mirror, squeezing a zit, and it was just like
It's one of the most
so-
iconic covers, actually.
something like that. Yeah, it was in the '90s, right?
Yeah, I always loved.
That's when I read it.
Actually, was the stuff in the margins by Sergio Aragonés.
Yeah,
He also
Yeah,
did-
I have a collection of
also
his.
did Gru. Yeah, those are fucking amazing. Yeah. Anyways, this is not the Mad Magazine podcast.
In conclusion, Mad Magazine
Mad
was
Magazine.
awesome.
Yeah, so I guess we might as well get into it. There was nothing previous going on. We sort of fucked up the Reanimator episode. Look behind the curtain. We record these quite a few in advance, and the Reanimator one sounds like kind of shit. So I think we might do an addendum to it and release it as is. But I don't know. The sound quality is not the best for these. We're trying, but that one is particularly bad. It's really hot. We had all the fans going. The babies are crying, and we're all talking over each other. It was a very hot day. Yeah.
I think we should try to redo it, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
All right.
But anyways, we have no more previous minutes. Let's go right into the
Moving on.
the comb over. We start with. How would you start with? You start with a pretty badass montage of a motorcycle during the opening credits. do you
Yeah,
not?
there is a
And-
motorcycle in the desert.
That's right. Yeah. So Matt, take us away.
This motorcycle is not a regular motorcycle, as is evidence that it has stuff on it.
Oh yeah, as you mentioned before, you can tell this is a futuristic and badass motorcycle because
It is not. You can't see the spokes of the wheels,
Yeah.
and it's silver.
Yep.
It has
Uh,
tubes on the back.
Tubes that have unknown function.
Yes.
Nephron tubes.
I believe you put it more succinctly and eloquently. You said it has shit glued to it.
It has shit glued to
Yes,
it.
and it does have shit glued.
Oh, and the rider's helmet looks kind of
Yeah.
spacey. It's
Yeah.
matte,
It's unreasonably large.
so large.
It's
So
just
we
big.
Looks so uncomfortable.
yeah.
So we have
It's like little. Yeah. Anyways,
a vague 80s soundtrack going over.
Yeah, it reminded.
Motorcycle
vaguely Genesis, vaguely Motorhead. Everything was vaguely something.
Yeah, vaguely something. And they take off the helmet for some reason. Some kid
With a skateboard, he's like, "Hey, wow, Mister!" And he's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
takes off the helmet and it's our man Jeff. There he
Yeah,
is. looking-
Jeffrey's there.
Studying this 28. Probably, as you mentioned, his most unfortunate, completely indefensible haircut.
Yeah, it just looks like he's before every scene, like the makeup artist comes out, touches up his nose, and then rubs a balloon against his head.
Yes, it's pretty bad for the roles we've seen him so far.
Yeah.
And I think all the male characters in general have haircuts that are indefensible.
Now, in Jeffrey's...
Not even just the women or the men, the women too.
Do you think it's actually supposed to be realism? Do you think he has, like, epic helmet head?
No, that
Because it continues on for the rest of the film.
yeah.
Maybe we're just supposed to think he always has the helmet on, except during
I like how you're pitching this, really positive.
"Yeah,
Keep going, keep going.
Okay, so we haven't even got past the credits yet.
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
see this super badass bike. It's got like missiles and shit on it, as you said.
Yeah.
metallic
We
shit.
see that it's Jeffrey has created it, and where do we go to next? Oh,
Tits.
here.
Then he brings it home, and then that we get to see
The
the
next
chick
thing-
on the pack deck. It's just zoom in on
I'm
boobs.
sorry, you call it the peck deck?
That's what it's called. It's the
Alright.
pack deck, yo.
Deck, yeah, I'm not. Obviously, I've never worked.
I was in the weightlifting club in high school.
I love it. Learning things about you.
So that would be a pectoral fly machine for those
Yeah.
of you uninitiated in the...
Thank you for breaking it down. Yeah.
And we see this woman in a blue 80s workout wear, which is kind of like a swimsuit with pantyhose on underneath.
We're introduced to first
Yeah.
two ladies, Carla and Terry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Carla.
Yeah, Terry.
Oh, Carla.
Terry, played by
Carla,
Heather
Carla,
Thomas.
Carla.
Yeah. Who gets top billing in this movie?
Yep.
It's Heather Thomas in Cyclone, and it starts with the credits, and then we get and Martin Landau.
And Martin
That's right,
Landau.
people. Martin fucking Landau is in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm Oscar-winning
Martin Landau.
and I'm pretty sure it was this year or the year after, which is Tucker, A Man in His Dream. I know nothing about the movie other than Jeff Bridges was in it, he had a car that had 3 headlights or something, and then Martin Landau won a Golden Globe and a nomination for that movie. So the same year or the year after this shit sandwich came out, Martin Landau is recognized for the talent that he is.
Stepping stones.
It is a small part, but anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. We see our chicks.
They're working out, and then we see that Terry's not quite as good at the peg machine as Carla is.
No, Carla's got some serious guts.
She says it's 220 that she's decking, so that's pretty serious business. And then they go to the locker room. We see some naked lady
Bonding. They're bonding.
Yeah.
We do see boobies. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not our main
only
characters.
booby event in the film.
That's true. There's no man ass. I'm trying to think back of
I was
movies.
hoping for a sensual love scene.
Really wasn't
We all
any
were.
sex in
Like
this
an
movie at all.
80s love scene, you know? Like satin sheets, saxophone. Yes.
Two people in a
there's,
duvet.
There's no fucking way they can afford Careless Whisper. So it'd be something sort of related.
Vaguely careless whisper.
Vaguely Careless Whisper.
They have a little conversation about what they're doing that evening, and Terry informs Carla that she's going out with Mr. Brain.
I don't know how the fuck you remember this shit. I watched the same movie you did, and I don't remember how these scenes connect.
He doesn't smoke weed.
Oh, that's what it is. Sorry.
And they're going to a club called Lava.
Oh,
to,
Lava.
yeah.
to
See,
have
it's the details that make the memory special.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I remember Lava because, I'm getting ahead. But I remember the name Lava.
and she leaves the gym after saying goodbye to Carla, and she's accosted by 3
Group of
ruffians
ruffians.
in a red 4x4 who immediately get out of the 4x4 and surround her and start
Start chasing
taunting
her.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our first, a little bit of sexual assault here. Unfortunate haircuts all around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carla comes out
Harassment, I guess,
and
yeah.
tries to ward them off, and they leave.
She wars them off by luring them into the gym.
Yeah,
Like,
she-
"Come on,
like,
you
acting
guys."
more sexy, and they go into the gym and.
Then
she
I think
locks them into
my
the-
favorite moment of high acting. Oh, I understand. I will lock them in a sauna or something.
Yeah.
It's like
I'll lock them in the suntan booths or
it's
whatever.
the best poorly delivered line of the film.
Oh, and she does have quite a few of those bad lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get that they're tough but still vulnerable. What are we supposed to learn from this scene?
They're
Other
So
than it's billed a
they
minute
go
30?
halfway with the women's right things, you know. They're like, look, women can be strong, you know, but hey, men accosting women, that's just a thing that happens, you know. Women, no matter how tough they are, never gonna be able to fight that off.
Yeah.
Just give up.
It's just society, man.
Yeah, it's just society.
This movie is not about giving up. There's no way this movie is about giving up. No fucking way.
And so Terry had some business to do, so she goes to the motorcycle shop where she's going to pick up 4 quarts of oil for Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah, the most expensive oil on there.
$85 for 4 quarts.
4 quarts, or maybe it was Gills. I don't know. We couldn't remember the volume. It's too much. Yeah. And maybe it's because, why is it so expensive? Probably because she's being sold by a fake Rodney Dangerfield. Is that why?
Yes, he is a sea-level Rodney Dangerfield impersonator.
His only concern is like he's having difficulty talking to her because she has breasts.
Yes, and he's staring right at him.
Yeah, and is visibly surprised that a woman knows what she wants in terms of her vehicle.
and visibly adjusting himself throughout the entire scene.
Yes.
I found that really disconcerting.
Yeah.
So she buys the most expensive oil on the earth.
Yep, and she
notices
sees a piece of steel on the wall that I don't know what part of the
Hand
motorcycle
forged
it
in
is.
London.
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
Drop forged.
Yeah. So she buys after 15, haggles them down for 20. So she's shrewd.
Yeah, and he gets her to gift wrap it for him.
Right.
Her, and she takes it home to Jeffrey. But on the way to the parking lot,
Who should appear?
ruffians!
Oh, it's a
Same
shame.
ruffians.
And it's hilarious because they're really pissed off because their hair is messed up because they were
Got locked in the sauna.
in the sauna for so long. And it's hilarious if you think about what these guys' hairstyles look like in
Before.
the previous scene, and then you look at them now. There's maybe 1 or 2. But what I'm saying is that their hair was so terrible before. Yeah, like trying to make it more terribler is how you say it. It's pretty funny, but they're pissed off and they're gonna kick her ass.
But do they?
No, they're not gonna kick her ass. First, they're like messing with, as they put it, her Jap bike.
Right.
Yeah.
Her Jap.
There have
She
been
drives
many
a Kawasaki.
mentions of
they dropped
many
the J.
derogatory.
Yeah,
Rice burner.
They drop a lot of J bombs. This is the 80s, so Japan was scary. Yeah, that movie Gung Ho had come out. Not the movie Rising Sun yet, but they were scared.
Japan were going to be our overlords.
Yeah, and as we said before, it was kind of Japan, just needed to go a little bit northwest.
Yeah.
Into China.
And Terry doesn't take any of the shit, and she kicks their asses.
With what?
Kung fu.
And the gift
medal.
she bought
Oh, yeah.
her boyfriend.
Which has been gift wrapped. We forgot. Fake Rodney Dangerfield gift
With a
wrap.
green bow.
Puts a green bow on, and she beats their asses with the drop forward.
It's pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome. Yeah.
Although her flexibility is a little unbelievable because she's wearing denim, like high-waisted, skin-tight denim, and ladies in the room can attest to that prior to, I want to say 96, 97, Lycra was not a key component in denim wear. Those jeans would have been tight. Yeah, that's not what...
All right,
yeah.
let's get back to this high-waisted
this-
skinny jeans. I'm for them. I'm glad they're coming back, like, currently.
But there's Lycra in them, which is
yeah.
amazing.
Obviously, like...
Reduces the difficulty
You
level.
can see how the women are sitting all the time. They're looking for excuse to drag their legs out or what have you because they're very uncomfortable, I'm sure, to bend. Yeah. But they're hot as shit. Yeah, but she kicks all their asses in the white heels and those tight boots. I think they make another racial slur. I'm
Probably.
not sure. Yeah. But she kicks her ass and she moves on.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty great. She's established as a pretty strong character that doesn't take any shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why she didn't do that at first? Needed a friend to stick up for her. I'm still...
I don't know. Maybe they're just
Surprising.
maybe it was
If
the
you
red
push her
herring.
too
Oh,
far.
that's another one of those patriarchal movies, and you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Still is.
She has agency.
All right, so she goes home, right?
Well, she heads home, and while she's heading home, Jeffrey calls the motorcycle shop and says, "You see my girlfriend? Come try to buy some oil and stuff." And the fake Rodney Dangerfield says, "Yes." And
The purpose of this call is not really clear.
I think maybe Jeffrey needed more lines.
Yeah, or maybe he's keeping tabs on her.
Maybe he was worried about her.
Oh, showing concern.
Showing concern.
Oh, yeah.
It's a short scene. He gets off the phone and he taps on a keyboard and like sticks a wire into his megabike, and
Yeah, he's established right away as the nerd.
yeah, he's Mr. the Brain.
This is a role reversal kind of thing here.
Yeah, he's got like a Texas Instruments or a TRS-80, and he's got all these tools and a white room with a motorcycle with shit glued to it.
Yeah, and
The Cyclone, I guess they never called it the Cyclone. If they did, we weren't paying attention.
yeah, he calls it the Cyclone.
Yeah.
Oh, does he?
Jeffrey, what is his real name?
Oh, it's
Tim.
Rick Davenport.
Rick Davenport.
Burt Lancaster is a Rick Davenport.
We're forgetting that he has a clock with a neon inlay in it, the green neon inlay.
We always know what time it is in the movie.
Yeah, there's no. It was great.
It's always 6:15.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe it moves on. I think it sort of jumps around a little bit, but it's great. It says ginormous. What am I, 3? Yeah, it's a ginormous clock that has a neon green around it. Yeah, just to make it look future-y.
It would fit in the neon mausoleum from Frightmare.
Oh,
It would. I bet you that's where it's from. I'm pretty sure there's a clock in there.
Jeffrey insists on taking that to every movie.
Oh my god. If only.
Neon mausoleum. Okay. So
And Terry shows up
Yep.
with a paper bag full of oil, and she gives him.
Paper bag full of oil.
That's what it was.
I know, but
The
it's
best image of like
I just imagine it just
Yeah.
seeping out.
there's like
I hope it's double bags.
perfect droplets of oil like the whole way down the hallway.
I got you a paper bag full of pantsuit.
She's strong and she knows how to ride a bike, but other than that, she's an idiot.
Cannot breathe.
Oh, and her metal gift.
Oh, her metal gift.
Yeah, her gift of metal piece, which
And he knows
theoretically
We still
goes
have
in a
not been
motorcycle.
told what it is. But
It's not. It's a shaft of some
He knows
sort.
exactly. It's like me looking at a guitar pedal. He knows exactly what it is. It's like, oh my god, it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's really stoked, and he thanks her for the oil, and
Here's
then
metal.
paperback.
they make out on a chair so that she doesn't have to appear taller than him.
Oh yes, we noticed that we were wound. It was like, why is Jeff
So much-
towering over
yeah.
her? Because he is A shortish man, 5'8", I don't know.
And then we get to all
He's
of
not
our favorite
tall.
part in the movie, right? Where they're talking about science.
She's talking dirty to him.
Oh my
basically.
God.
So
Okay.
she's reciting some theory of relativity.
Explain this nice and slow.
Yeah,
This is
okay, I'm
the
going to
best
lead into
part.
it. So here they're going over the mechanics of the bike, and she starts rattling off some physics equations, things
Like
about
mechanics.
energy, and eventually Jeffrey
While they're making out.
Jeffrey just can't contain himself, and she asks if she said it right, and he says, "Oh, I just love it when
He's like,
you."
oh baby.
Oh baby, I love it when you mess up Einstein.
No. That's not what he says. I love it when you fuck up Einstein.
Yeah.
This isn't some PG bullshit.
This is a movie for
Sorry
adults.
guys, I'm a mom. I'm working on
This movie delivers, yeah. She's right, yeah. I love it
when you fuck up Einstein.
Like,
This is the first time in a long time where I actually found myself really wanting a love scene. I wanted this to just keep going. I really needed to see where more of their foreplay went,
I just wanted to see some E equals MC
Yeah.
squared.
I just wanted
Is
to
this how they roll? Like, is this like Friday night with them?
Yeah.
We've never seen a naked Jeff so far. We've seen shirtless.
That's the other thing. Is like I wanted some Jeff ass, and I realize it's the '80s, so that's probably low on the likelihood list. But I can dream.
Anytime, I think it would be now because he's not a big star. Like he sort of gets known later in life.
Yeah. So is he known for his ass?
Yeah, not for his ass. Okay, we're back. Had to take a bit of a break for
Babies.
and
poop.
dog shit. Yeah,
And dog shit.
Our,
Yeah.
our favorite
So we had a
things.
poop intermission.
let's keep
a
it
poop
real.
intermission.
Poop and babies. But we're back, and what the fuck were we talking about?
We're heading to lava.
Oh shit. Okay, so after they almost make out, he's like, you still wanted to go to that club or something.
That shitty club you always try to take me to go to that I said I would go to this time, and she's like, "Yeah,
You promised."
my favorite shitty club that you have to go to."
Yes.
And it is shitty.
And
But wait,
then
we've forgotten that he's gotten a threatening
oh yes,
phone call.
right before they
Oh,
leave,
thank you, Janine. Yeah.
he gets a threatening phone call, something which is delivered in like the worst possible way because it's like off camera, like we don't hear what Jeffrey hears. Which is really like how you don't want to stage like a phone
Why is that, Matt?
because it leaves the audience out afterwards and you have to take twice as long to let the audience know.
There's been a phone call that was threatening.
Not the first evidence that they're maybe don't know what they're doing or they're trying to pad it.
Yeah.
This is a scant 88 minutes, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so he explains that there's some sort of innuendo that he needs a suit.
A suit, but don't worry about the shoes.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's for a funeral because my grandfather just died, and they said don't worry about the shoes.
Because
which
it's
is-
hidden in the casket.
Yeah, this is real, which is
Yeah,
a really
she-
clunky reference.
But she tells him straight out. She's like, "This is a death threat," and his response is, "Oh, don't worry. Of course it's not. I don't even own a suit."
Oh, right!
Yeah.
Shit, I totally forgot about that. He said, yeah, I don't even own a suit.
Oh, that nullifies the death threat.
She doesn't shrug it off, which is great, because like we thought she'd just do the stupid girl thing. She doesn't, but it is the stupidest reasoning. Yeah. Not very good.
So they
Apparently,
had,
somebody wants to kill him.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody wants to kill him, but they decide to go out to lava anyways.
Yeah.
And we see that the exterior shot of lava is sort of like a regular building with the word lava spelled out on it in track lighting on the outside.
It's like the shitty pub in every town tacked onto a strip mall.
Yeah. With lava and red track lighting. Gorgeous.
Yep. The house band is a guy in
Oh.
a skeleton costume
Yeah.
With a cape.
with a cape.
Yeah.
It's magnificent.
A bass player with a t-shirt and an executioner's cloak and mask.
Yeah, I don't really take a look at
The
the
guitar
rest.
player was just wearing like a centered hunk jacket with lots
He
of
had a big
buttons on
collar.
it. Yes, a big collar, and I don't know what the hell the
Presumably there was a drummer, but,
Yeah, but- yeah.
we
Well,
didn't see anything.
they're singing a song, and what song are they singing?
Devil metal.
Devil metal. Devil metal.
It'll be in your head for hours.
And it was a really strange audience because the audience,
Sparse.
not only sparse, but mostly new wavers.
Dancing extravagantly as well.
Yeah, it's
And
like
the dance floor was white. What nightclub has a white dance floor? That is the stupidest idea ever.
it's like they recruited the extras for this at like a New Romantics era like nightclub in LA.
Pretty hilarious. Before we move on,
Yes,
I asked
yeah.
you guys when we were watching this movie, because they never tell us to come up with your names for this band that plays devil metal.
Yeah.
So I'll just sort of go ahead. My examples were Fist Kick, Skeleton Fuck, or just simply Pus.
Okay.
Matt?
I was thinking snake balls.
I like snake balls.
Snake balls is like the name that just came to head.
Okay, perfect. One's just fine. Majin, you have any?
Black Shabbat.
Black Shabbat, that's right. You're more Hasidic Black Sabbath.
I can't even remember.
Can't even think of any right now. Maybe it'll come to you.
Yeah, I don't know, like metal bones.
Metal
because
bones?
they were so literal. Like their lyrics were about Satan and metal and all of that. And he was wearing an outfit with bones, so therefore the name of the band would be.
Or how about Satan Band?
Satan Band?
It's pretty on the nose, yeah. The Black Satans.
Metal Bones.
There is a band called the Black Satans, which is a satirical black metal band. They're hilarious. It has them like in full black metal gear at the beach where people are suntanning around them and they're doing their black metal poses and everything.
That's amazing.
Or they have the drummer playing a children's drum set.
Oh my god.
Even though it's all programmed, so obviously there's no drumming really on the album, quote unquote. It's great. But I think this nightclub, what you guys are talking about, the whole thing looks like an adult who's out of touch, their impression of what this nightclub would look like.
Yeah.
So it's a mix of punk, new wave.
Oh, totally.
This band would look like this. All the people at the club would look like this. It's just an amalgamation of those
Of
things.
stereotypes.
Of stereotypes
Yeah.
put together by people. Yeah. Devil metal. So we're at this club and she's decked out to the...
She looks like the sexy costume version of Scorpion. Like sexy.
Oh, from Mortal Kombat?
Yeah,
She
yeah,
does.
sexy
Yeah.
Scorpion, you know, like sexy pickle. She's like sexy
She
Scorpion.
looks like she was in the band Striper. It's,
Yeah.
anything yellow and black, Wu-Tang for that brief period.
Yes.
Impose it on her and that's what she looks like. But a sexy version.
Whereas I think, Matt, you said like sexy Kill Bill, which is hilarious because it is Kill Bill is sexy,
Yeah.
but it would be one of those stupid sexy costume companies that misses that point and would just make it like
Needs to be
tank top.
sexier.
It needs to be sexier, so they made a mini skirt and tank top version of it.
Exactly, yeah.
It reminds me of what I saw at like my 1989 Def Leppard concert.
Oh, yeah.
experience.
You were talking about that. I wanted to go to that concert so badly when I was a kid. You and I grew up in or around Calgary, and that you got to go to it. You were younger than me. My parents wouldn't let me go.
Thanks a lot, Bob and Judy.
Yeah,
know
thanks
you're
a lot,
listening.
Mom and Dad.
Thanks.
Just stunted it. But yeah, you got to see that.
Oh yeah, it was a foundational experience.
Didn't they have a bunch of like women made out of lasers, or am I confusing it with Motley Crue?
They had the round that year, so what they did was they put the stage in the center of the stadium instead of at one side.
Right.
And then there was the tour, and then
Stereo.
and they had the drummer was in the center, Rick, whatever his name was, and they looked it up during Rocky,
I can never understand the fucking lyrics. It's all trouble. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Rocky baby.
Come on! We're gonna fly! Come on! Okay, I gotta stop doing that.
Yeah, but she looks like a groupie for a Def Leppard.
And Jeffrey just a regular dude.
He's wearing a blue sweatshirt and khakis to lava, which is
He's total normcore.
Yeah.
he's totes normcore. He's like about 25 years too early.
Non-ironic normcore.
Yes. Yeah. So
And some bad dudes enter the bar.
yeah, this guy that looks kind of like he's not Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, and what
Not
like
Billy Idol.
What a Billy False Idol?
Ooh, vague Billy Idol.
Yeah, well, again, more vagueness. Him and his sidekick, some lady
With red hair.
with red hair, who, as we'll see later on in the movie, changes her look quite drastically in every single scene. Quit fucking touching that. Just admonishing Matt for touching the microphone. Stop it. Anyways, yeah, she changes her look every single time, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
She has like 5 or 6 really good
Yeah,
looks.
so they walk in and they're mad dogging, giving the eyeballs to our main characters, Terry and Rick. Rick Davenport. Love that name.
And they decide to dance, and it was the worst decision of their lives because while they're dancing, not Rutger Hauer pulls out an ice pick out of his sleeve and jacks him to the brainstem.
Straight up to the brainstem. Yeah. And he's down like a rock. And so at this point, throughout the movie, Bunny was really, really wanting Jeffrey to still be alive. Like, somehow that was like he's faking his death or whatever, because I don't think he wanted to accept the fact that he was done for the movie, right?
He was so done.
Yeah, he was done for the movie. But Bunny wanted his consciousness to be in the motorcycle.
I wanted it to be like
I
Knight
wanted
Rider.
that too.
Or, yeah, okay, let's be honest. We all wanted that. But Bunny throughout the movie was like, maybe he's coming back and it's all a dream. It never happened. Our man Jeffrey is dead. I don't know, about half an hour in. Is that all right?
Gone
Maybe
too
even
soon.
less, yeah.
Gone too soon.
Yeah, and so we were left to the next scene, which is the lights on in the place, the white dance floor, and is it a
Red outline.
chalk outline, which
Which-
all made us audibly blurt laugh when we saw it. The next scene
It
just
wasn't
like-
chalk, like it was a red tape outline on the white dance.
holy
could-
shit, it was fun.
I could totally see like the production coordinator being like, "Who has a white dance floor? I need to use a chalk outline. What do they do with a chalk outline on a white floor?"
I like to think of him sitting there drawing it on white chalk, and after he's done, it's like, nah, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
But basically, we're introduced to a couple detectives, a cop, Rolf, a bunch of other cops that we basically, and they're asking her the standard questions, and they want to know. They let her know that he was working. His bike that she knows about was actually a contract from the U.S. government or some sort of shady government organization, and that she was going to. They needed her to help them find the motorcycle because
They don't know where it was.
no, his oh shit, damn babies! I'm stoned and there's a baby screaming at me. So they don't know. His whole thing was kept in secret because they were worried about all the stuff that it was going to be taken by spies or nefarious agents. That's never really explained that clearly. I don't think, is it?
Bad people.
Bad people, basically. Okay, bad people. Yeah. She's like, to her credit, it doesn't tell the first person of authority where it is. She's like, I don't know where it is. I don't know. Well, if you change your mind, let us know. Blah blah blah. She goes home. This other cop, want to ride? It's like, nah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I gave that detail just now, but that's what
We're
happened.
just showing how independent she is.
Yes.
She
goes back-
don't need no man.
She don't need no man. She goes back to the hospital, turns into something, or changes into something more comfortable. By more comfortable, I mean an even tighter pair of high-waisted jeans and a racing top.
It looked like a BMX top.
Yeah,
to
with a
me.
really floppy belt. Oh, remember those times?
I do.
The floppier the belt, the better. You would work on the leather belts and it would flop over. God damn it, fashion's stupid. The stuff we
I
would
remember the overalls with just one.
Oh, the overall. Oh, speaking of that, 2014, I saw a picture of someone, he was some sort of hip hop artist, and he was wearing, no joke, overalls with the one strap under, and there was some.
Buddy and I saw it at the mall.
Yeah, there's some sort of print underneath. It's like it's totally back.
Yeah.
There's no mistake we made in the past that our children aren't willing to repeat when it comes to fashion.
My mom used to think it was horrible because women would just go braless and wear would just be this floppy boob hanging out from one side of the overalls. It was,
Like a tank top.
yeah, the tank top. Crop top, spaghetti
And the
strap.
energy level just sunk for some
So
Oh, she goes home, changes into something more
she's
uncomfortable.
wearing her BMX top, and then she just presses the secret button.
Which I only really show once,
To get into the Mega Lab.
Yeah, we
which-
never saw how they got in there before.
and we never see it again.
We know now that they lived together, that this was their shared home, and that they were very close.
Yeah, and it was behind the...
You're forgetting that we opened to some people outside watching her in a car.
Also, there's a pair of bumbling cop officers.
Yes, they are definitely comic relief. They keep hitting their heads, asking...
Fighting over burgers.
Fighting
and-
over burgers, yeah, it's terrible, yeah.
Nothing of consequence happens though because of them. They're just sitting there.
You're gonna watch the house.
Yeah. And then she decides that she's gonna go out the back. I think she gives a call to Carla to let her know that Rod.
You mean, Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Rick. Yeah.
Yeah, Rick is dead.
Yeah, but how do we, before she leaves, she's actually given a message, is she not?
Oh yes, she has a video message left her on the fancy computer.
Yeah, so...
By Jeffrey.
So, and this actually really piqued Bunny's interest. She's like, oh my god, he's still alive in the computer. No, not alive in the computer. He's just back with a video message to tell her that he loves her, what he was working on, dangerous men and what have you. And
Some strange things have been happening.
strange things I've got. What does he have? It's the bike is amazing, but what fuels the bike?
amazing futuristic
hydrogen fuel cell
that could power clean energy for the future forever. So really, the Cyclone is just one part.
Yeah.
The Cyclone, while being an amazing bike that has 400 horsepower, it's powered by.
They buried the lead, is what you're saying. They've got they've unlocked hydrogen fuel cell to make water, essentially, or oxygen. I can't remember what the fuel thing. I'm too stoned. I don't care about the science, but basically,
it's a fuel cell.
Yeah, the fuel cell is the thing. It's when he developed that offhand. Oh, by the way, how are you going to power this fuel with the fuel cell? It takes regular gas, but for its special features. Is that right?
Did it look like a portable hard drive to anyone else?
Yeah,
it looked like a laptop.
It's like a credit card
or something.
Yeah, something that you just plug in vaguely, and she puts into the side after she's loaded up all the different weapons. So it's got missiles.
Yeah.
It's got
a knife.
It's not just a knife. It's a knife with brass knuckles attached to the end.
The knuckles knife, which we never see used
the most
again.
80s thing ever, but she slips that into a special
just
slot.
in case.
And there's appears to be lasers on the front and on the helmet.
Yeah, she has helmet lasers and front of bike lasers.
We do see the truck.
And it's bulletproof.
Is it bulletproof?
Yeah, remember we see later on that the bike's bulletproof.
Oh, did they establish that earlier?
Yeah, well, later on.
Yeah, we don't. We don't see them test firing a gun at it or anything.
They also
like
established that there's a heads-up display that Jeffrey uses when he's testing the motorcycle,
but only
they
in the
never
helmet.
use it again. Yeah,
And they do all this stuff
and they never use it again.
So many props that just went wasted in this film. It's really surprising to me.
It's strange.
They went to all this effort to make a sliding frickin' mantle. And for the secret lab.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They only showed once.
That's true. Yeah,
It's a lot of effort for one scene.
They just had a secret mantle.
Yeah.
They gotta use it.
We rented this house and it just has a secret mantle. Why did this happen?
Just imagine them leaning on something. Hey, boss, look at this.
We're using it.
We found a secret mantle. We're using it. Amazing.
And so after she gives Carla the heads up that she's going out to look for the real killers, she powers up the bike and she heads out for what seems to be about a 15-minute montage of riding motorcycles through the city.
Yeah, the cops out front are sleeping, so they don't notice that she's gone, but she leaves out the back anyways. So it's another montage of a vague song. This one's vaguely Kenny Loggins.
Oh no, this was the Genesis one.
Oh, vaguely Genesis. Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
See, vaguely Genesis.
Vaguely.
But I think this is the first time we noticed that I believe it's a man riding the motorcycle when she's got the helmet on. Is that right? We all agree here that was a slight man.
Definitely
the arm hair.
And
you think it was the arm hair that gave it away?
not only that Heather Thomas has giant boobs, and then they all of a sudden
it's
go
the freaking arm hair, the blanket of arm hair.
Absolutely, and larger forearms, because she right from that opening pec scene, or let's just call it what it is, opening tit shot. She's established as a very slender woman, a slender, sinewy woman. Those forearms on the bike were beefy as shit, covered in fur, and she has very long hair, which is not tied up in any way, and it only came down halfway underneath her helmet. These are the details that we pay attention to.
There were no boobs as well under the jacket. They didn't even put a padded bra.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, they didn't even try.
So where the fuck did we go after that?
We spent, after that 15 minutes, she goes to meet
Seems longer.
Rod Johnson or Bob, the guy that Jeffrey tells her about in the video message, Bob Jenkins. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Only Bob Jenkins knows my secret thing.
Jenkins.
There's a leak in the agency, and I don't know.
They meet under a freeway, which is like the standard place,
The only place you don't need a license to shoot in LA.
Oh my shit! I never even thought about that. That's exactly why they do that. So that starts up, and then so they're gonna meet with Bob Jenkins.
And before really we can get too much out of them, I think Bob says a couple things to her, and then before anything too serious happens, not Rutger Hauer and redheaded lady jump out, and Rutger Hauer shoots him in the chest, and then she crossbows him in the back.
Oh yeah, shit, that's pretty great. Yeah, it's slow motion. And then she gets on the motorcycle.
And beats a retreat at a medium pace while they chase her in a Woody Volkswagen.
Oh yes,
Amazing
Janine,
1978
it's a wood,
Woody.
wood paddle station wagon going to catch this speedy little superbike, which is hilarious. And during the whole scene,
And swerving all over the roads.
yeah, during the whole scene, it's
Very
keeping pace
slapstick.
with the. Yeah, it is really goofy. This is another scene where it's played really goofy, like the cops. This one is especially played goofy. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right, so we're having a very goofy scene.
A
Another
chase
car
scene.
They get the top of the station wagon sheared off.
Yep, and they do like a reverse start.
Yeah, at one point they're going backwards. It's really goofy. She eventually, how does she stop them?
The superbike doesn't do much of anything. She just jumps off of something and
Well,
She uses it like a cable or something.
He
no,
throws
a
he
chain.
throws a chain at
Yeah.
her.
Oh, that's right.
And she catches it and wraps it around a pole,
And-
and it's wrapped around his waist because he's trying to pull her off the bike by throwing
Yes.
the chain at her.
Yeah.
But instead, it
gets
just
hooked.
pulls him out of the car. 'cause
Yeah,
it's-
doesn't kill him, doesn't depress his organs or anything.
No. You do see this whole comic, oh, my back moment.
Yeah, it's pretty goofy, but she gets away from them basically after that point. And then again, I don't know where the hell we went after that.
after the car chase number 1, she goes to
Round 3, crying babies. This is the price you pay for podcasts.
This is a family podcast.
Which is nothing. Free
It
show,
is.
free download. Her escaping from, in a comedic way, was the last thing we were talking about.
yeah, and so she heads to her friend Carla's house. And she wheels her bike into her kitchen through the front door.
And they carry it upstairs.
Yeah,
I like to imagine that she's like just pushing it up all the stairs, like the elevator's out of order, and like at every floor she stops, looks at the elevator. Every floor has an out of order sign. She shakes her head and keeps pushing it up the stairs.
it could have been played for comic effect,
Could have been.
but not so.
Would not have been weird for this movie.
And they have some sort of a weird conversation, and then I think the
The bad guys show up.
the bad guys show up. Which one's
She
the
comes back after working on the bike,
yeah
and her friend is being held hostage in the kitchen with a knife to her
Yeah,
throat.
so it's almost Rutger Hauer,
And
Billy
red-haired
Falsightle,
lady.
and the red-haired lady, the chameleon.
Yeah.
In a different, probably her best outfit right now because she looks like LaRue. She's
Yeah.
got like she's got the swept hair, she got a little hat, her collar popped up, looking sharp.
yeah.
Yeah, but basically they've captured her friend, taking her hostage.
And right before this, is this the first time we see Martin Landau and he's having the conversation with the Japanese about not being able to get the bike yet?
Yeah, I think that's before that scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're introduced to Martin Landau, who's sitting in a vaguely
Looks like a cheap lawyer's office.
there's books on the wall,
Yeah.
cheap wood desk, and it's like him talking about that, how he wants the bike, he wants the technology, he wants the what the fuck's it called, the transformer,
Yeah.
the hydrogen cell. I don't know why they call it the transformer, but that's basically what he wants. And then there's a vaguely Asian man, probably Japanese because it's the 80s, who walks in and says that you promised us by 6 p.m. or whatever. He's like, yeah, it's not 6 p.m. yet. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get
And
it.
he has a bazooka for some reason.
He has a bazooka for some reason, probably because they just had one. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, it's not 6 p.m. Don't fail us, blah, blah, blah. Makes a strange hand gesture.
Yeah, it's like it looked almost like that Kumite, from like Karate Kid.
Yeah, totally. Sweep the leg. And then, so that's the first time we see Martin Landau. He plays a small part in this, but again, there he is. He's okay.
He's got Landau lips.
He does have Landau lips. He's got an interesting face. Yeah.
He looks like he eats a lot of soup.
He does. He looks like he eats a lot. Do you think he slurps it?
Oh, he kind of has like that. You know those people that like smell like vegetable soup? Like generally it's a sad old person on the bus. That's right, I said it. It's a sad old person on the bus. They kind of smell like cheap vegetable soup. You know?
Oh, that made me sad. It was like vegetable soup.
That smell.
Not even like, I don't know.
It's vaguely cabbagey.
Minestrone.
Not tomato, not cream of mushroom.
Yeah, vegetables the saddest of all soups. We've established this.
And so we're in the hostage scene where Carla's like, she's got a knife to her throat, And they're asking her to give up the location of the transformer because they already have the bike.
Yes, they've captured the bike because it was in Carla's apartment, right?
Yeah. And she's like, I don't know, it's in this place with the locker, and she gives away her key,
saying it's in the bus locker.
Yes.
Yeah, and then then there's a dun 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 moment where Carla just stands up.
What?
And she's the mastermind behind it all.
No, she's working with the bad guys.
I told you she
But
would
guys,
give it up.
they're friends.
Yeah, their friendship was predicated on lies.
Established friendships, established in bathrooms, are often false.
Yeah,
It's fact.
But what happens right after Carla shows her true colors? She discovers that the key that was given to her
Is to her gym locker.
to the gym locker. Ah ha ha!
You only get my sweaty pantyhose.
Nice. So Terry, fucks him over. And so at this point, we see, we get another twist when another co-conspirator, one of the detectives.
Yeah,
who was investigating the crime walks in too. It's
the
like,
dude FBI agent. He's like, he's evil too. So it's just a cadre of backstabs.
it's a web of lies and deceit. Yeah, and so they're all decide how they're gonna get this information out of her. They decide that they're going to use a car battery charger.
They sure decide that car battery charging is the way to go. Mm-hmm. And so they warm it up, and not Rutger Hauer decides he's going to have fun with this.
Yes, he says something vaguely threatening, and she says something. The word of this podcast, by the way, is vaguely, because we've said it so many times. She says something really badass, she won't give up, and that he decides he's going to torture her by shocking her and slowly turning up the amps. Or the bolts. I'm not sure. I'm not an electrician.
I think they're both bad.
Bolts and amps, yeah. You probably don't want much of either.
But the choice of place, like normally in these torture scenes in movies, they string the guy up and they like take the shirt off and they make them wet and then like do it to their nipples.
You're talking about Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Is that Lethal Weapon
well,
too?
they do it in Lethal Weapon and in 24 like every other episode, and torture is very middle-aged power fantasy, so it happens all the time.
Lethal Weapon was the same year as this movie, 87. I can't remember when that Chinese actor was in everything with the mustache and the long stringy hair. So skull it. Yeah, torturing him. Yeah, I think it's two.
That guy's John Carpenter's friend.
Yeah,
he's been in all of John Carpenter's movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah,
no way of knowing.
He's really good though, and. So they decide instead of torturing her like the effective way, they decide to torture her through the thighs of her jeans.
And she's just like tied there suggestively, spread eagly.
And she sort of like lurches backwards with her titties kind of flopping around.
I am guessing though that in those jeans that tight, you can only sit comfortably spread eagle in those things. As Bunny said, before Lycra. Yeah, before Lycra and jeans.
I think we should be a little clear here. Her tits were not flopping. Those things cannot flop. They do not have the breathing space, the collagen to flop.
Oh, you're saying they're fake?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
the flop.
Those taut water balloons were.
Her chest was flopping. Her chest was heaving.
There
we go.
Up and down, and then they, for some reason, during the second time they do it, I think they just reuse the first shot
in slow motion.
Absolutely.
Like save on film stock. Why shoot twice?
It's part of her contract.
We're running lean.
Maybe the second time she did it, she didn't look as good.
No. Yeah. Maybe she burst an implant.
Occupational hazard.
Too far, you guys? Too far? So they torture her?
They torture her. They electrocute her 2 times, which constitutes torturing her.
That we see?
And then they decide that she's just not going to break, and so they need to do something different. Mm-hmm. And then her friend comes back, Carla, and then she decides that she's going to, like... What does she do to her? She, like... beats her up or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, she's like twisting her arm or something.
I don't remember. Did she untie her?
Yeah, well,
no, she's still tied up.
And then pantsuit lady cop comes in with an Uzi and a revolver.
All right, the
hand.
one non-dirty cop.
Yeah, the one non-dirty cop.
Would you call her Pantsuit McUzi?
Pantsuit lady cop.
Yeah.
Pantsuit lady
I
cop.
love it. Yeah, so Pantsuit lady cop with a couple of Uzis. Okay, sorry, before we go any farther, what constitutes an 80s action movie? Okay, so fucked up hair on the men.
Fucked up hair on the women.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Usually cheese to the moon.
Betrayal.
Betrayal. Uzis.
David Bowie level makeup.
Yes. Saxophone. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Explosions.
Lost love.
Yeah,
Either physically or most sad.
All right. We'll just think about this what's going on, but they're hitting all the buttons basically on this one. She comes in with 2 Uzis with Azmat.
Oh, it's an Uzi and a revolver, which is like odd.
Yeah.
And her hand position for the Uzi is just completely wrong. Like she would be spraying bullets straight up into her own face.
I love that this is the stuff you pay attention to.
Well, when you're firing an Uzi, you want to pay attention to
So
how you do it.
Pantsuit Lady Cop rescues our heroine.
She manages to get everybody to like let her go, and they escape in a chase to get back to the motorcycle. And she gets back to the Cyclone and races it away. And then once she gets into an alley, she decides that I've got she takes the transformer out of her boobs.
Yeah,
she
Transformer that they were torturing her to find, they didn't bother searching her for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in her chesticles the whole time. Yeah.
How confusing that these
How
people
did
did.
that show too? Because it was bigger than her breasts. Like the unit.
It's pretty big. It's like the size of a Samsung Note 2.
If I was,
Hey, with the current references.
if you were carrying a laptop battery in your boobs,
Don't
people
take the
would,
podcast.
people would
You
know.
don't need to worry about longevity.
Well, any sort of jevity.
And then, so once she's powered up the motorcycle, they decide, or they're chasing her, and so we're treated to chase scene 2.
Oh, yeah.
And this time she's in hot pursuit, being led by her friend. Carla is in the lead, and she also turns into a man as soon as her helmet gets
Oh,
put
that's
on.
right. Yeah, so it can be 2 stuntmen pretending to be women riding along and...
They're not pretending very hard.
No. Just covering their faces.
They're not doing like a great job of it or anything.
Yeah.
And so they chase around for a bit, and they manage to jump one of the cars off an embankment.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so one of the cars gets rushed off the embankment. Does it get run off, or does she start shooting it with her lasers?
Oh no! It's a lady pantsuit cop gets out of her car and starts shooting with the revolver at it. Not the Uzi.
It's Lady Cop Pantsuit?
Lady Cop.
Is that what you said, or is it Lady Pants?
Pantsuit lady cop.
Pantsuit
Lady Cop. So we gotta get this straight. Yeah, that's right. She shoots it. We see a little bit of the blood, and it goes careening off.
Yeah, and then not Ricker Howard jumps out, and he's injured, and then Terry uses the laser functionality of the motorbike to set him on fire and explode.
Oh my god! I forgot about this part. So he's just standing there shooting at her. Is that right?
Yeah, and then she's like, pew!
Yeah, she targeting, and there's this amazing scene where you're just standing there, and then in the next frame it's a dummy that just bursts into the flame. We all laughed at that too. It was hilarious.
That was pretty good. I mean,
oh man, wasn't that amazing, Janine? When he just explodes.
Oh yeah, when
it
they
explodes
just.
into flames. Yeah.
And it wasn't even clear what kind of fire gun. It's just you see her firing something.
Like a flamethrower? Was she trying to blow him up?
The lasers always came out of her helmet, right?
With 2 came out of their helmet, and 2 of them, and she has 4 that are in the front of the motorcycle.
Did she ever use the rockets?
No, I don't think so. I don't think the rockets ever came out.
Brass knuckles.
No, that's
blade thing.
another wasted
just, just the lasers. Yeah,
But
she never uses we never see her using the targeting computer. I don't think.
no, that is special effect. Just
Yeah, and
Expensive.
there's that whole scene with him teaching her how to use the bike. She barely uses it. Shit's all over his memory.
Is that what happened?
for a movie about a superbike, it doesn't really
It's
do
not very
that much.
super.
No. Again, yeah. Superbike equals shit glued to it. So it blows up him and then blows up Carla. Or blows up her bike.
It blows up her bike, as well as they use the explosion in an alley she uses the explosion in an alley where the redheaded lady is driving like another 70s automobile.
Yeah.
And she makes it explode, and a presumably red-haired lady is also dead.
Oh, so the other assassin or what have you.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
Rutger Hauer and the red-haired lady. Yeah.
She's gone, and now Carla is in pursuit, and she hits her bike with the
lasers.
with the lasers and
Face lasers. Yeah.
and the bike explodes, but Carla's thrown free. She takes off her helmet, and she's suddenly a woman again. and then Terry and her have fisticuffs, which results in Terry face punching her 4 times in a row, really loading up, and then that's it. And then suddenly after that, the cops show up.
Sorry, just to put up. That's one of those awesome. Like Rocky fights where everyone's throwing haymakers and just landing them, boom, but either break your hand or knock that person unconscious right away, and they're just landing them left and right.
Serious brain damage with each punch.
Yeah. So doesn't she go in to make sure she's out? Like make sure she's passed out or knocked unconscious?
Well, I think the 4 face punches were enough, and then the cops are immediately there, and they just let her go. Like,
but don't we get the old fake out and Carla wakes up and they fight again? No, that was after the bike crash. Sorry, never mind. After the bike crashes, Carla's like on the ground.
The action sequences kind of tumble together in this one.
They did.
yeah, it's
not important.
I would say the last half of this movie is quite haphazardly strung together.
Yeah.
Again, completely amazed every time that you remembered the actual chain of events. Because to me, it's like just a cyclone of.
Was that intentional?
No.
Oh, amazing.
No, it's just a flurry. It's like they took notes from Michael Bay, and just kind of like
Keep the action going.
Just keep it going. Okay, now they're gonna run into a wall. Okay,
Michael
fire.
Bay without the budget and less focus, if that's possible.
Exactly.
And then, so cops show up. They let her walk for some reason because cops in real life would stop her and question her about her involvement with the road explosion.
But they know. They're like, oh, this is the one.
You see the other cop that tried to help her is like, you want to ride? She's like, nah.
Dude,
you never don't need no stinking man. And she takes the transformer, whatever one's basically the key to free clean power forever. And she throws it into a puddle in the alley, and it explodes instantly.
Yeah, and without any sort of massive discharge of energy.
Yeah, we don't know anything about hydrogen cells. Maybe that's what they do when you throw them in a puddle in an alley. We don't know.
They just fizzle. That's not what they do.
And so we are left with, that's the penultimate scene, because we are left to Martin Landau.
And he's talking to Pantsuit Lady Cop. And she tells him that like she thinks the transformer is with the bike, and so he's like, go check, go find it.
Yeah.
She goes and checks, and then she's like, no, it's not there.
So when you say talking to Pantsuit Lady Cop, it means she checks in, and that's when we find out that Martin Landau, like the mastermind, is actually a superior. The Lady Cop's not a crook; she's just reporting in.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, we gotta find the transformer. It's not there. Then he hangs up, and the Japanese man is there, and he says, would you guys be interested in a very fast Ferrari or something like that? And then we hear a gunshot. Gunshot?
Yeah,
Did you hear a gunshot?
No. And a freeze frame.
Yeah, hear a gunshot. And freeze frame. And end of movie.
End of movie.
Credits.
We did it, guys. Cyclone.
That
In
was...
general, did you guys enjoy this movie?
I did up until like right off the bat. I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is like so far my favorite. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself in terms of how Jeffrey was Jeffrey, but like he was like standard. He was doing really good. It wasn't so like hammy like the last couple. I was really excited to see where it went, but then they killed him off.
He's not in it very much.
He's not in it very much. And that's sort of my biggest problem with the movie is that so they kill him because they want the motorcycle. But then, because they kill the guy that knows where it is and how it works, they have to go through this convoluted bullshit of trying to kidnap his lady friend and torture her. If they had just kidnapped him, and then maybe some torture, or kidnapped his lady friend and been like, give us the motorcycle or we'll kill her, the whole movie would have been condensed to like a 10-minute scene. So I find that like most of the action sequences were very forced. Like, now this has to happen. Now we have to torture her. Like, when it just could have been solved right off the bat.
Yeah, totally.
I think a more entertaining version of this movie would have been to combine Jeffrey's character with Terry. So that she's like, she created the motorcycle herself,
right?
And she has no love interest, and then she shows up at a nightclub in like a fanny pack and like a blue sweater, and then like a spandex skirt underneath.
Yeah, like he pretty much wasn't even necessary, other than women can't do science.
Apparently.
He loves it when they fuck up Einstein.
He loves it when they fuck up Einstein.
Yeah. So okay, so let's give it our rating then. Out of helmets that shoot lasers, how many out of 5? How many helmets that shoot lasers would you give it, Bunny?
3.
3?
3. It
Yeah.
had a strong start, but then it was a flurry of action sequences and forced causalities.
Yeah,
Very-
From Beyond kept stepping up the insanity that was coming up and the effects and everything.
Yeah.
It just sort of peters along.
Yeah, it peters off.
Yeah, I give it 3.5 as well.
Yeah.
Considering we've given like 4s to From Beyond, our Reanimator. Our rating system is basically in the context of watching it with another Jeffrey Combs movie.
Oh, that was so close.
You were so close to
Did
me
you see
saying
my
it.
arm
I
flinch?
did,
I want to
I
hit
did.
you
I was
so
thinking about
bad.
Yeah, so I give it 3.5. Matt Attack.
I give it a 2 out of 5,
Oh.
but it is good for 80s fashion, and I guess it's like kind of boner fuel if you like the 80s.
Heather Thomas isn't a lot. She's gorgeous, yeah. Nini?
Unleaded boner fuel.
I give it a 2. I mean, just there's
both.
pacing issues,
Okay.
and the line delivery is poor. The acting doesn't really hold up, and the massive prop wastage.
Yeah.
It just
Bunny and
irritates me.
our ratings are always a little high. We're like those parents that are like, well, the lights were nice.
We've watched
learned all of those lines yourself?
We've watched like the absolute dregs of cinema. We've watched The Cars That Eat People, don't actually eat people. We've watched Nazi Surfers Must Die. Like, really, my bar is
Surf
so.
Nazis Must Die?
So, thank you. Yes, our bar is so low that it doesn't take much.
Okay, we sort of touched on this a bit. How Jeffrey is Jeffrey in this one, though.
I don't think it's a bad thing, but he's not very Jeffrey.
No.
Like, he's very toned down. Not a lot of mouth acting.
Except for that one
He's
video
kind
thing.
of Jeffrey.
Yeah.
He's kind of Jeffrey. Like, I'd say 2 out of 5 Jeffreys.
2 out of 5 Jeffreys. Yeah, 1 being Frank Mayer, and 10
Which isn't a bad thing,
yeah.
but it's not his campiest role.
Sure, I accept that 2 out of 5 assessment.
He accepts it. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
There's no real trivia or IMDb questions, just more wondering why people didn't get to see Heather Thomas's titties. They wanted to see her tits in this. This was the height of her powers, right after Fall Guy, so that's why she gets top billing and everything.
Okay.
However, because we don't really have much for that, I wanted to read something about Dar Robinson. Dar Robinson was the cop that was initially and tried to give at the scene of the crime and tried to give her a ride at the end. He was an okay guy.
And a stunt guy, right?
Yeah, he was a stunt guy. Yeah, but there was a little mini bio on him on IMDb. So, one of the modern U.S. cinema's greatest stuntmen and stunt innovators, Dar Robinson only appeared in a relatively small number of films compared to other stuntmen. However, he set new benchmarks in stunt performances. So he was a double for Steve McQueen in Papillon. He was a double in Magnum Force, the Clint Eastwood movie. He was a double in for Henry Silva. Love me some Henry Silva.
No,
in
you
Sharky's Machine. Sharky's Machine, is that a Burt Reynolds movie? I don't know. Yeah, but he's at High Point. He's been in a bunch of movies. But most importantly, because he had done so much for stunt people and what have you, that he actually he was the first person in Hollywood history to be thanked or to have a movie dedicated to him. Yeah, and oddly enough, he is dedicated in this movie. Like, this film is dedicated to him. However, it's not this film that he's dedicated in. That's the first one. Lethal Weapon, which came out earlier this year by Richard Donner, is also dedicated to Dar Robinson at this time.
And how did he die?
He died actually in a motorcycle accident off the set. I'm not sure if it was his fault or anything.
Is that ironic?
Is that ironic? Don't you think?
Maybe if his job was getting murdered on cinema, on film. That would
period.
be
But he did this crazy stunt where he dropped from the CN Tower
Yeah.
and with no cables. And he pulled his chute at the absolute last second. And that's sort of what he became known for, is like these crazy stunts and what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was...
Was that for Short Circuit 2?
No, it was for Christopher Plummer at the conclusion of High Point, 1982. Is there a fall from the CN Tower?
Yeah, Johnny Five jumps off the CN Tower in Short Circuit 2.
I like the idea of, like, instead of throwing a robot, they dressed a man as a robot and threw him over.
I was just thinking it would be funny.
I love that idea.
I think a guy jumps off too.
Really? I haven't seen that forever. Is
I only
Fisher
saw- I've
Stevens
never- I've
still
never seen it.
vaguely racist as an Indian?
He's
He's not vaguely. He's full on.
in In the first one, he tones it down for the second one because he's the main character. He's
Sorry, do you mean like First Nations or like Southeast Asian?
He's East Indian.
Yeah, Indian.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
For our listeners,
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Short Circuit,
I haven't.
you've never seen Short Circuit.
No,
Really?
No, it's one of those.
Yeah,
One of those
Johnny
blind spots.
Vibe.
I've totally told you that I haven't seen it.
You've told me lots of things.
you-
I've maybe seen like the ending scene. Are they on a rooftop?
No, we were just talking about the CN Tower. Maybe there was that.
Yeah,
Well-
no, like the ending of Short Circuit. Or they like?
No idea.
Well,
Yeah.
Short Circuit 1 is
Does he become gold?
at the end of 2, I think he becomes gold.
Get citizenship. I know. Keeping these damn illegals out. Oh, he was built in the U.S. Never mind. He's not illegal. Yeah. Okay, that just move on to, I guess, recommendations. We'll start with you, buddy.
Actually, come back to me.
Come back to you?
Come back to me. Let me
Okay,
think
what
about
did we
this.
see recently? I would actually probably recommend 1962, What's Up, Doc? A comedy with Barbara Streisand and Ryan O'Neal. Fucking hilarious. We had never seen it before. It's probably up there with, one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, up there with Monty Python and the Holy Grail and Airplane. God damn, it was funny. Barbara Streisand, I had no idea she
What was that other
a
one we
comedian.
watched the other day? It was a Western, and it was actually. You were saying that filmmakers of the Japanese.
You're thinking of A Fistful of Dollars.
Fistful of Dollars. That was excellent.
Okay, so hold on. Yeah, so Fistful of Dollars is your recommendation.
yeah,
Clint
Clint
Eastwood. And you're
Eastwood.
seeing Yojimbo. It was such obviously a close, basically a rip-off of Yojimbo, which I believe is a Kurosawa film.
Yeah, they put a Western skin on it.
Yeah, but it's beat for beat a remake of it that I believe they sued successfully for that. I don't know.
And like Clint Eastwood's in his like mid to late 30s in that.
Yeah.
And he is hot.
Yeah, he's smoking.
Oh, he's got like the eye crinkles and
that movie really set the spaghetti western.
Yeah.
It's the first one. It's not as cinematic and grand as like you watch Once Upon a Time in the West.
But you can see the beginnings of it. Like they're trying to play around with shots, and then they keep refining that.
No question.
Yeah,
No
Fistful of Dollars. That's my
Fistful of Dollars for me.
recommendation.
I think that's 72, 74, and What's Up, Doc? 1962. Man Attack.
I'm gonna say Logan's Run. Watch Logan's Run.
Logan's Run. Did you watch that
choice.
recently? What made you think of Logan's Run?
It's just a movie that I love, and it has boobs in it and robots.
It does have boobs in it and robots. Who's the lead in that? Who plays Logan?
I forget the guy's name right now, but what's his name? He's English.
Yeah.
He was in Austin Powers and a bunch of other movies.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What the hell
It's
is that?
Basil Exposition
The guy with the
in Austin
teeth.
Powers. Yeah. I forget.
He's like in my mind. They often do like caricatures of him.
He's fantastic at it though, and the pacing of that movie is excellent. It's like a really real travelogue sort of movie too.
I remember seeing that movie like as a I don't know, maybe 7 or 8, and just being like completely like horrified at the concept. You know, and like, how could they lie to people like that? And you know, just when my parents explained it to me, just being like, what?
The name of that actor? Michael York.
There we go, Michael York.
So, Nini, your last recommendation?
I just watched Maleficent, the Disney retelling of the Sleeping Beauty fairy tale.
Yeah.
With what's her face? Angelina Jolie. And I actually really liked it. I was, expecting to kind of hate watch it.
What were you expecting?
I was expecting just sort of something along the lines of Enchanted, but with less singing.
Yeah, I was sort of worried it was going to be the same old shit but darker, which is what people have been doing recently. What was Hansel and Gretel? While stupid and knew exactly what it was, it is basically what you know but darker. But it's not that?
No, it's not at all. It's I would say it's actually a very, it's got a very strong female lead.
Anything else you guys wanted to add before we move on? I don't know what we're watching next, but I think it's back to more of our genres that we're familiar with.
Yeah.
This was a weird one in his canon that he just sort of made as a goof. But
Does the next one contain more Jeffrey? Because I feel like I haven't.
I believe it does.
All right.
I would be surprised, and then we're gonna watch a few Stuart Gordon movies where he's just an ancillary character, and a few House on Haunted Hill too. But mostly he's the lead. But I guess that's it. We did it, Cyclone!
Yay!
That just leaves us to say goodbye. My name is JD. My voice sounds like this.
My name is Matt. My voice sounds like this.
My name is Janine. My voice sounds like this.
My name is Bunny. My voice sounds like this. And that's the baby number 1 and baby number 2, and their voices are very obvious.
Good night.